Guys, did you know that women on YouTube get harassed? If you didn't, now you know because I just told you. And if you don't believe me, I've got good news because now there are scientists who say it's true. So I'm sure that all of the people out there will stop telling me that I'm imagining things, that women just have a thin skin, that it's all constructive criticism, that men get just as much shit as we do. I'm just kidding. This will literally change no one's mind. But let's talk about it anyway. Inawaka Amarasakara, and I'm sorry for butchering that probably, is an Australian researcher who started looking into gender disparities amongst YouTubers back in 2015. 3 years later, she's found evidence that bitches don't be lying. She manually sifted through more than 23,000 YouTube comments on popular male and female science channels to sort them into 6 categories: positive, negative or critical, hostile, sexist or sexual, appearance-based, and neutral or general discussion. Let's pause to just appreciate this fact. She didn't think that an algorithm would be nuanced enough to accurately sort the comments, so she did it all herself. I don't even read the comments on my own channel because they're often so pointless and gross that all it does is make me more interested in campaigning in favor of global warming in the hopes that it will lead to the eventual extinction of the human race. I guess the comments aren't quite as bad to read when they're not personally directed at you and your weird teeth or bushy eyebrows or whatever, but still, have you looked down there? It's a horrific pit of despair. And I'm just wondering if anyone has checked on this researcher to make sure she's okay. Because Sister spent 3 years reading YouTube comments, and no one can come through that unscathed. In one of the greatest understatements of the year, she told the New York Times that after her ordeal, she was, quote, quite disappointed, and that she, quote, could see why people would not want to be on YouTube. You don't say. Anyway, of course, what she found was that, yes, female science communicators got more shit. They get more than double the amount of critical comments compared to male hosts, and more than 3 times more comments about their appearance. Not shockingly, women also got 12 times more sexual or sexist feedback compared to men. The New York Times points out that the study also found positives for women, one of them being that we get more comments. I'm not sure that that's actually a positive when those comments are 12 times more likely to be talking about how we should be raped. But thanks. In actual positives, women were more likely to get more likes and more subscribers per view. Women were also a little bit more likely to get more positive comments, but let me tell you, it takes about 100 positive comments to make up for one comment detailing exactly how a man plans to find you and rape you. Maybe 200. I know I sound a bit pessimistic about this study's potential to cause any meaningful change, but I do think it's important. Unfortunately, women and minorities have lived experiences that we all understand and accept, but privileged people often have a hard time understanding and accepting them when we point them out. Rationally and scientifically documenting them won't suddenly make everyone figure it out, but it is an important and unfortunately necessary step in telling our stories and finally being understood. And if research like this gets enough press, like the New York Times writing a feature story about it, then maybe, just maybe, YouTube will be forced to acknowledge that the current system just isn't working to make female creators feel safe and comfortable making content for their platform. As I've said before, I would never have come back to YouTube were it not for my patrons over on Patreon. And speaking of them, I would like to take a moment to give them a shout out. If you want to become a patron, you can skip the YouTube comments and leave comments that I will actually read over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Rebecca. So thank you to all of my current patrons, a few of which I will list. Keith Bostick, Suzanne Jacobs, Ben Maddox, Robert Sheehan, Luke Swanson, Bob Gilmore, Todd Tom Jaworski. Oh my God, I'm going to butcher all the names today. Bjarte Foshog, J. Tori 13, Dag Erling Smorgroff, John T., Oak Regette, Aros Harmon, Feroz Dalal, Marcella Gilmore, Laura Wadlin, Susie Wiles, and Secular Woman, which is an actual organization, and you should check them out. I'm sorry for getting all your names wrong. You're all stars, and you absolutely, completely negate the nonstop shit show that is YouTube. And hey, YouTube, fix your shit. Thanks.